Good morning, Councilmember Sun Burford. We are a team of high school volunteers from the Little Masters Club. Thank you for joining us today. This year marks the 250th year anniversary of the United States of America. In the past 250 years, the Chinese American community have faced many hardships, such as the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, making it even more important to speak up. Therefore, we would like to conduct a series of interviews with Chinese American elected officials all across Washington state to tell your stories and inspire more young people to partake in civic engagement. We are very honored to have you here to speak with us. So let's begin.
Welcome to our city. Here you can see the city of Newcastle. We have a long history of coal mining. You see, from 1870, 405 tons of coal from Newcastle become one of the first commodities to come out of Seattle and was shipped to San Francisco. So you can see since 1870. If you look at Newcastle's neighborhoods names, we have China Creek, we have China Falls. And back in days, we have coal miners who are from China, immigrants, early immigrants, Chinese coal miners. They live in those areas. That's why still remaining Newcastle, China Creek, and China Falls. You see a lot of artifacts here from back in days. It's a quite an antique look. You see the timeline of our city here. 1853. We talk about the coal. Chunks of coal first seen in Newcastle in 1853. And you see the timeline all the way. Something here. 1969, the area was officially named Newcastle after its UK sister. We know there are a lot of Newcastles in the world. In UK, England, in Ireland and Scotland, and in many states in our country. And in 1969, the area was officially named Newcastle after its UK sister, which is synonyms with coal mining. 1970, a landfill is opened in one of the city's old mining pits, and it's the future site of the golf club at Newcastle. Newcastle Golf Club offers remarkable view. You can oversee Bellevue and Seattle and the Puget Sound, a great region. Just people get their wedding ceremonies there, and a beautiful view, play golf and food, and just like a wonderful site. I welcome everyone come to visit. And you see 1993, after 23 years, the Newcastle landfill closes up to 1993. 1994, the city of Newcastle incorporates. So in 2024, we celebrated 30th year of Newcastle's incorporation into King County, all the way up to here. City Hall, 2014, the city of Newcastle celebrated its 20th year. But I, as a city council member, I cut the cake of 30 years of city celebration. Right now, 32 years. But back in days, from 1853. In the US, Newcastle has relatively long history. I came to the US in 1999, May 3rd. So I've been here for 27 years. And I'm from city of Tianjin. And I have never moved because I fell in love with Seattle. This is my beloved community. And I have lived in Newcastle for 14 years. Such a vibrant community with such a history and a diverse population. So I'm proudly and honored to call Newcastle my home. Awesome. And you're talking about the education background. And I got my BA degrees in China, and I came here, and I didn't just go out and work full time. I believe education is the foundation of democracy and foundation of our life. So I pursued my education. I have studied a lot of subjects, including financial accounting, human relations, American multiculturalism, and leadership, and also computer information systems. And ultimately, I also studied American education. We all know that there's a term which is called culture shock. And I thought I was well prepared, because when I was in China, I knew I was going to come to the US. I prepared for it.
in China, I'm from Tianjin. We got earlier English education, and to be well prepared about culture shock. So I studied, I read a lot of books, but even though after I came here, and I ran into people like they asked me, "How old are you?" That was a culture shock, and also I remember when I first teaching at Newport High School, students asked me, "How old are you?" My answer was, "I'm old enough to teach you," when I was at Newport High School. And also, I know one really fun fact. One morning, my husband asked me, "What would you like to have breakfast? And would you like to have some muffin?" I said, "Muffin?" I said, "That sounds like muffin." In Mandarin Chinese. I said, "Nothing trouble, what do you mean?" And then he brought me a plate full of English muffins. And at the moment, I said, "Oh, that is a yummy dessert, yummy pastry or breakfast item." That was a moment. So no matter how well you study your English, because when we were in China, we almost seldom study like spoken terms, such as these food items, even common food items. So that was quite an experience for me, but it's fun. And because I'm open-minded, I think it's very important to be an open-minded person. So coming from China to the US, it's like a reset. No matter, I got my degree, I bought my apartment in China, I established my friendship, my career, but coming to the US, reset, back to zero. So I think the courage and the willing to embrace the new world and the new opportunities. So that will lead you to every place you want to go, to every goal you want to achieve. Because I work for the Bellevue School District. This last day of school year, I got my 20-year service pin. So proudly, I have worked for the Bellevue School District for 20 years. So I can't believe it's been already 2 decades. And talking about from this transition, right? So I think I used to live in Lakehurst Park. It's really a lovely community, and with such a wonderful environment similar to Newcastle. And the reason why I didn't move sooner, because my daughter was at UW. She was at the UW early entrance program. So I just didn't move immediately, even though I've been working for Bellevue for quite a while. But after her study, so we decided to move to a place that is closer to work. And of course, we look around, and eventually, I think it's a calling. I said, wow, in Newcastle, there's a China Creek, and then there's China Falls. And then I discovered such a rich history Newcastle actually has with China. Those Chinese coal miners, they made significant contributions to our greater Seattle area and California's economic bloom. So I feel, okay, this is my home. So that's why 14 years ago, I moved to Newcastle with my family. Our experiences, the road we traveled, the people we interacted with, and the books we have read, and all the interactions and the connections all shaped us. So my career, my life journey, I think as an educator, as a reporting news on spot. So I think that's really prepared me with such a strong skill set, working with people from diverse backgrounds and tackle unexpected situations. And also working as teachers, we have multiple roles. We are teachers, not only teachers. We are counselor. We are like therapist. We are like in emergency situation, we are fast responder. So I think also all this, I think, contribute to my journey to become a city council member. In reality, I had never thought about running, because my community asked me, "Son, you should run. You are great. You can represent all of us." And at the moment, I felt, wow, I was honored. I was grateful that the people, recognize just my, passion and my heart to bring people together. But as an Asian American, as a person of color, and a first-generation immigrant, and I didn't think about running. But that moment really just, it was an affirmation that whatever you do with a genuine caring heart, people feel it. But I didn't say, okay, I'm gonna run. Not until when COVID hit, the hate towards our Asian community, it broke my heart. And I remember one of my students shared with me, she was afraid just to walk in her neighborhood because she saw the news. Someone with a huge rock attack as a senior citizen. She was afraid. And that moment, I think, I'm petite, but I want to do something even bigger, and to really uplift our community and beyond, and everybody. So that's the moment when they asked me again, Sun, you should run. So I didn't say no, but I did research, of course. It took me a couple of weeks to research about the city council job and everything. So I said yes. I firmly believe that art really brings us together. Art is universal language. It's really about the free expressions, creativities, and connections, and it truly brings everyone together. And my family background, my mother's side, like uncle, so he's a professional artist. So he is he has his specialty about Western oil painting and Chinese painting. I still have a really outstanding artwork from my uncle now hanging in my living room. And my brother, who also is like a self-taught artist. So he could very quickly just sketch a horse or a rooster. Now it's Year of the Horse. I just like displayed his sketch of horse at home. Also my father, used to draw, we use our pencils, like fountain pens, and he carved landscapes and birds and just beautiful things on those pens. And also at home, we were surrounded by his painting, like front door, the kitchen door, and also the wall around me. Also we made lanterns during Chinese Lantern Festival. My father and I, we worked together because I like to do hands-on. I like to do origamis and a lot of, art related. I'm also a certified yoga teacher. But all this, I just want to say in short, in summary, arts really, I have experienced that. Arts bring us together and to promote peace and understanding. So when I know that Newcastle, we have this such wonderful non-profit organization, and not only has contributed to Newcastle locally and beyond, our Arts Council has been hosting all kinds of events for the community. Not only in Newcastle, we have people from all over, from Maple Valley, from Sammamish, from Everett, from Snohomish, of course, and nearby cities, Bellevue, Renton, Redmond, Kirkland, and Issaquah, they all come to Newcastle because these events, we want to be there. We want to be part of it. People's smiles really say it all. It really warmed my heart. That's why art is near and dear to my heart. And we said we want to see art alive in the city of Newcastle and in the greater community. That's why it's one of my passions. We started this event during the pandemic. People were isolated, and really we respected the social distancing measure. And back then, that kind of measure was lifted. They encouraged people to gather, to interact, even though with our mask on. So that's why when I first proposed this idea, and our committee and the city asked me, Sun, so we heard about the Lunar New Year, this holiday, but what's your vision? I said my vision is to bring people together and really also give people an idea and a platform, a space to connect, because we've been isolated for so long. So I said, okay, cultures, holidays, and food bring people together. This is my mission. Not like all of a sudden I just suddenly had this idea, because I do have experience. I hosted this kind of event in the past at different community, but I want to bring this to my community, to our city, and also to attract more people to join us. And I said, only for people who do not understand or do not know about this holiday, and it's a great opportunity for them to learn and to know about it and to experience it, from their first hand. So that's why the city is great, and our community also said that's awesome. Let's do it. So we planned, and we didn't know how many people we're going to get, but I worked hard. I knocked on every business door. I walked to everybody. I just genuinely tell them, please come, it's free. There's authentic food, snacks, and engaging performances, and hands-on activities. Feel free, if you're available, join us, and I will be there. And it turned out, it was just like people mountain, people sea. And our police department, they had to really rotate, let the people to get in, because we utilize Aegis Garden's beautiful Stanhead Culture Center with wonderful Asian decor and such a wonderful community. And so the name for the record, I believe we have over 800 people. I mean, that's the first time. And now we have done 4 years. The next one will be our 5th year of Newcastle Lunar New Year celebration with 1,200 and 1,500 people, I mean, for the record. History actually was made. I became the first elected Chinese American council member in the city of Newcastle's history. I'm very humbled and grateful for all the support from the community, from the citizens, from all the voters. And I really, really shared my genuine thought with everybody during my first council meeting. I took office in January 2024. It's been, 2 years and 7 months. This journey has been really, really meaningful and rewarding. It really, really requires a lot of work and dedication. I truly know that what public servant mean, when you really, really do this work. I think talking about representation matters. So I think through my council job and my fellow council members' support, I initiated Newcastle's first ever inaugural Lunar New Year resolution and proclamation. I also initiated Newcastle's first ever AANHPI proclamation, which is this May. Also, working alongside with my fellow council members and the city, we provided many more meaningful community events. And I get to interact with a lot of citizens and residents, constituents from our local community and beyond. I actually chair our city's community engagement committee. I'm also on the economic and community development committee. For this, I regularly attend our community meeting. Some meetings are bi-weekly, some meetings are monthly, and my council meeting we have every other Tuesday evening. Regularly, we start our council meeting at 7, but I have my meeting with my city manager. I came to City Hall. We meet on certain topics. I always ask questions, and I'm a good listener. I listen to their input. I also meet with cities like we have other directors like public work directors, community development directors, and we have community engagement coordinators and the city work crew. Sometimes I go to our work site like Lake Barton Park, like our annex room and facility, and regularly I work with city crew. For bi-weekly city council meeting, we have so much to read. I come to this room. Whenever I'm in this room, I usually stay here for a while. I read the documents and the paperwork, and also a lot of emails. I read all the emails and reply to the emails accordingly. Sometimes it requires some meetings. I meet with people in person. Sometimes can be at City Hall or at the places that are convenient to them. So as a city council member, my work is not just here, beyond the space of City Hall or City Hall. At home, in my office, and also on the go, sometimes in my car. So this is pretty much, it's just I'm flexible whenever I have time, whenever people need me, whenever we need to connect. There are a lot of proud moments. Just by serving in my community and passing a lot of votes and getting work done and getting a lot of policies through, so make me very proud. And I just want to share a few really touching moments. So in 2024, and I was honored with such a prestigious award in our city, which is the annual Diamond Award for Diamond Inspiration Award. So they award me as such an inspiration in our community. And they notified me as a finalist. At the moment, I was really touched. I was really touched because just being a finalist among other so many worthy individuals. And I didn't expect to win. But at the award ceremony, that was a surprise moment. I was the winner. I was so proud. And it was really just only reminded me to work more, to give up more. And I didn't know who nominated me at the moment. But I was so grateful. I only did what I did, and just through my passion and my responsibility. Just this is who I am. But the community, they recognized, they noticed, they just gave me that honor. And I didn't expect, of course, last year I attended annual Diamond Award ceremony. I was cheering for the winners. And this year, after I purchased my ticket, I was ready to cheer for the winners again for this year. And I received an email. Sun, as one of the recipient award finalists, you have a ticket. You have 2 tickets. I said, what? Wait a minute. Is this like from previous year? And I replied, they said, no, you are again as a finalist for this year. And I said, may I ask who nominated me? They said, you know what? We have to make sure if it's the one who nominated you who's willing to share this moment. But I was so humbled because I know in our community there are countless volunteers. They dedicated their passion, their hours, their heart to our community, large and small, in so many events. As a council member, I just want to serve you all. And this year, the award is leadership, for my leadership in our city, in our community, and beyond. This is because of Sun. People see you everywhere, in our city, in our region, in our state, and you really represent our city well in all capacities. I just feel like I'm so humbled, just being honored, being recognized. But I just want to say, there are so many worthy individuals. They should be honored as well. And I just want to say thank you all for honoring me, for including me in this community, for allowing me to serve you all. So the vote initially was 3-4. That means, based on the vote, the city council decided not to raise the pride flag in the Pride Month. Initially, I voted for yes, to raise the pride flag, because I feel strongly that every citizen is our citizen. Love is love. Also, I want not only Newcastle citizens to know that, also the visitors and everybody who comes to Newcastle knows that they are welcome. They have this sense of belonging, and we want them and you all to be here, to feel it's a safe and a welcoming place for you all. So that's why that was my vote. Of course, later on, there was a flip vote. So just a few weeks later, we voted 4-3 to raise the pride flag. And of course, I I had a heartfelt communication and a conversation with my fellow city council members. We were so excited and grateful for this final vote to raise the pride flag. And I had the longest council meeting so far since I served. And the council meeting began from 7 and ended at 11:15 p.m. And the news reporters, the TV station's news reporters, the journalists, they were waiting outside the city hall. And we raised the flag at 11:20. And then the news was live on TV outside of the city of Newcastle City Hall to let everybody know that we just raised the pride flag. Dream big. I really just want to, what I would like to say, pursue what you really like to do. Pursue your dream. Doesn't matter it's big or small. Pursue. Sometimes you may think, oh, this is just dreaming. Maybe I can't do it. In America, you can become whoever you want. You can do whatever you want to achieve with your goal and dedication. And I enjoy hiking. It's like a journey. You have your goal, you have your destination, and you plan. You have your gear. Your gear is your action, your aspiration, and your checklist, and then your strengths and your training. You get ready. Just pursue your dream. You will be there. You will get there. Never give up, because you can do it, and we can do it.